Hello everyone, and welcome to another Java video. In this video, we're going to be solving two problems at once. We're going to look at how to reverse an array list, and we're also going to do an array list intersection. If you're wondering what an array list intersection is, we're just going to create a program where we can look at two array lists, and we're going to create a new array list that contains a value that exists in both arrays. Whereas for the reverse array list, we're just going to take one array list and try to create a reversal of that without using the built-in reverse methods, okay? So we have our little setup here. So if I were to actually run this program, what we would get is two array lists. Nums1 will have digits of pi. Nums2 is just going to go up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for our simplicity's sake, I'm just going to show you what this looks like reverse. It should look like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to create a new array that holds the reverse version of that right now. So let's say we're going to reverse nums2. Well, first and foremost, we're going to need an array list that says nums2 reversed, and it is composed of integers. So we're going to have to use a wrapper class called integer and say that we're creating a new array list filled with integers, and we're going to finish it off like so, and we're going to have this variable called nums2 reversed. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use index-based iteration here. So what we want to do is say for like that, and we're not going to use a for each loop, but rather we're going to use an index-based loop. So we're going to say int I is equal to something, and we're going to say while I is greater than something at this point, and we're going to do I minus minus because I want to go backwards. I want to reference the highest possible index value within our array list of nums2, and then go towards 0 because 0 is going to contain the first one. That means our last index is going to hold the very last value in nums2. To get that, what we can do is take nums2 dot size. We use our size method to get how many values there are, and we're going to do -1 because indexing always starts at 0. So if I were to reference dot size, we're actually going to go ahead and index out of bound. So we're going to take 1 away from that, and we're going to say while int I is either greater than or equal to 0 because we do want the 0th value in our nums2 array as well, and we are going to take away 1 from I at every iteration. And what we're going to do is the following. In our nums2 reversed, we're going to add nums2 get the value at I, and we're going to put a semicolon right there, and we can say system.out.println nums2 reversed is equal to nums2 reversed variable like so. And let's see how this one will work. And here we go. We were able to access 9 first because that is located at size -1. As we continue to take away 1 from our index value of I, we're getting these values in reverse order, and we were able to add it on by using the add method onto nums2 underscore reverse, and we were able to easily reverse our array list like so. Now, our next question is, how do I look at the intersection? How do I look at two common values that are shared between two different array lists? Okay, so what we're going to do is the following. We're going to say finding the common values between array lists. Okay, what we're going to do is look at the values. Okay, we're going to compare two values. We're going to say that we're going to say for int num1, which comes from nums1, and then we're going to say for int num2, which comes from nums2. Okay, now we can say that if num is equal to num2, well, we have a common value. We have a value that's intersected that exists in this array list of nums1 and a array list of nums2 because these two temporary variables are equal to each other. All right. So that means we also need to have an array list that contains that. So we're going to say array list integer. We're going to say intersect is equal to a new array list at integer. Awesome. Now, only if this is true, we must also make sure that, well, also make sure that it does not exist in intersect, because we don't want to add these numbers multiple times. Therefore, we can say that for int value that is from intersect, if we're going to say if value is equal to num1, because we already know that it's equivalent to num2, we're going to set some variable to false. So we're going to say that boolean not found is equal to true, and we're going to set that not found to false. We already found it, so we're going to set it to false, and it's capital lowercase f and lowercase t. All right, so after this for loop is over, where we have looked through all the values intersect, we can say that if not found, only then we will add it to this array list called intersect. We're going to say intersect add just num1, because num1 is equal to num2. And therefore, we can add it in. If it was found, we can, actually even break out of that section right there and not add it afterwards. So after this array list is over, we want to also make sure to have sc.close in our bottom of our code and say that system.println the intersection of our two array list is plus intersect. That, and then we can put a semicolon right here. Clear our code. And let's run. So when we got our nums to reverse, that was it. All right. And for the intersection of our two array lists is 3, 1, 4, 5, 9, 2, 6, because these were all the digits that existed in this nums2 and nums1 as well. But you'll notice that we're missing values like 7. We're missing values like 7 and 8. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're missing 7 and 8, which were two values that were not intersected from that. So that was pretty intense. We were needed to do 3 loops together, where we had a loop within a loop, and this loop was within 2 loops like that. That was only because we had to do this kind of search. Anyways, thank you for watching. The reversal is quite easy. You just had to make sure that you had to start from the size -1. For here, we were just looking at 2 common values, so we know for sure that we are creating a pair of values. So we learned that previously, that we want to do a loop within a loop. But we also have to do another loop to make sure that we're not adding multiple of the same values together, which we took care of in this section of our code right here. Okay, so I have a little question for you. When you look at this code, is there any way you can actually make it more simple, or even run more efficiently faster? So that's something to think about. Anyways, as always, thank you for watching and stay classy.